Nicholas Fuentes has a lot to say about cannabis. I'm going to play the clip on what he says here, and after that, I will give my personal take on what Mr. Nicholas Fuentes has to say about cannabis here.
And if you like weed, fuck you. Seriously. No joke. It's just not even worth arguing. If you like weed, fuck you. Seriously. I hate weed. I hate people that smoke weed. If you like it, just shut the fuck up and kill yourself. Fuck you. I hate weed. And any fucking loser that says, well, caffeine is a drug. Well, alcohol is a drug. Well, caffeine's a drug. You're a fucking idiot. And you should kill yourself. I'm kidding. Don't kill yourself. But, like, you should shut the fuck up and just stop. I hate weed, and just people that smoke weed are insufferable losers and should just be disregarded. It's for scum. It's for absolute scum and degenerates and fucking losers, and I hate it. So, no. And I feel differently about alcohol. I don't like alcohol. I've never drank alcohol. I think people generally shouldn't. I think it's super unhealthy, but you know what? I think that if we didn't have alcohol, we would all be killing each other because people are absolutely insufferable. People are absolutely insufferable and impossible to deal with. And if people did, I don't drink alcohol and I don't want to be around anybody. And I think if I drank alcohol, I'd be a lot more fun as a person. I think I'd be a lot more fun and people would like me more. I'd be easier to get along with, but I can't because I have to be a machine, you know? But it's definitely necessary as a social lubricant. But weed is for losers. Weed is just anti-human, anti-life. It's horrible.
I don't know a whole too lot about Nick Fuentes. I have listened to a lot of his talks here. I follow him on X. Obviously, if you just Google his name, I mean, he's painted out to be a white supremacist, all these things, very far right, and he definitely leans right. He definitely stirs up a race war for sure. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's racist. People like him who are big. I mean, this guy's got 500,000 followers here on X. He's got a very big reach, especially for people who are asking questions, people who are somewhat down the rabbit hole. And then they come across someone like Nick Fuentes who says a lot of truth, who says a lot of things actually I agree with. But then he says something like this, right, about cannabis. I mean, just goes to show you that Nick Fuentes is very ignorant. And, I'm not going to play the clip again. You can play it back for yourself if you want to hear again. His very harsh and punishable words by saying you're a scum and saying things like it's anti-human, this and that, and he even tries to make a case about alcohol being better. Cannabis, the powers that be, the reason why cannabis is so demonized is because cannabis does expand your consciousness. You obviously have to use it responsibly. And you have to not let it consume your life like people do with alcohol. You know how people become alcoholics, things like that. But weed expands your consciousness. I mean, this guy literally needs a spliff. Nick Fuentes is in desperate need of a spliff because of the way he's acting right now. I mean, this guy, the stuff he's saying, right? F word after F word, telling you to kill yourself, even joking about it, and wearing a sweatshirt that says Christ is king. You see, this is why you have to be suspicious about these people, even if they're micro influencers like Nick Fuentes, right? Because he even leads you down the rabbit hole of the JQs and everything's the Jews, this and that, right? Because he calls out people who deserve to be called out, like Matt Walsh and all these other hypocrites who are conservatives on the right, and Donald Trump and all of them. But he plays into the race card with the blacks and whites, and then he plays into the JQs, which is just the Jews. He's very known for his criticisms of Israel, right? He's very vocal about the JQs and all of that. So this is what I mean by these micro influencers. Nick Fuentes, at least I respect that he shows himself and that he does something and that, he has a platform. I totally respect that. And this guy can either be a useful idiot or he just doesn't know how deep it goes, and he's just very blinded. This is why he needs a spliff. This is why I said it right here, because he needs to expand his consciousness. He needs to calm down. He needs to grow up. He needs to stop being angry or whatever this volatility is that he has. I gotta be a machine. See, he's very hyper masculine, right? Very hyper masculine, you know. He plays into that whole role. I gotta be a machine. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And oh my God, you know, if you date a woman and you marry a woman and you have kids with a woman, you're a cuck. You're this. That plays into depopulation and this whole stupid red pill nonsense.